Hello everyone. The following project presentation is about unsupervised texture segmentation using Gabor filters. My name is Sparsh Goel and I am a graduate student at University of Florida. Let's talk about what exactly the texture is. A texture is a crucial attribute of an image which characterizes the nature of its surface. Another way of defining texture is one or more basic local patterns that are repeated in a periodic manner. It is possible to do texture segmentation using only the knowledge of dominant feature that distinguish the various textures present in an image. Let's talk about texture feature segmentation. Textual segmentation can be achieved using both supervised and unsupervised approaches. The process of texture segmentation is a very similar process but specific to the division of an image into different regions based on their different textures. In this approach, the unsupervised approach, because it relies on the subjective assessment and is generally desirable, while supervised approach is generally relies on the methods of training and the segmentations references for the purpose of performing assessment. The HVS model can be fit into this methodology that uses multi-channel filtering. Texture segmentation requires simultaneous measurements in both spatial and spatial frequency domains. Since the filters with smaller bandwidth in the spatial frequency allow us to make finer distinctions among different texture. They are more desirable, and it is the robust texture segmenting capabilities of human beings that motivated the computer vision researchers to formulate a similar mathematical model that can be used for different analysis. Part of the process for texture segmentation are: the first step is for designing the filter bank, the second step the image decomposition, extraction of features from filtered image, and the last one is clustering. This is the graphical view of texture segmentation process, in which first we have the original image, and when we pass this original image to bank of Gabor filters, we obtain some filtered images from the original image. After, when we pass this filtered image through feature extraction, we got more featured image from the previous images. And from these featured images, after passing through clustering, we got the segmented image. The first step of texture filter segmentation is designing of filter bank. Basically, in this filter bank design, we use Gabor filters for this project. The Gabor filter bank is properly designed and tuned to different spatial orientations and frequency. Gabor elementary functions gives transfer functions that are comprised in these filters. These Gabor filters produce outputs that are significantly distinct for the regions that differ in their texture. Gabor filters fit suitably because of their ability to perform multi-resolution decomposition, and based on the uncertainty principle, the bandwidth of a filter is inversely proportional to the width of that filter in spatial domain. They have been found appropriate for the use in textural representation and discrimination because of their ability to tune to specific spatial orientation and frequency. This Gabor filter in the spatial domain is given by this equation of exponential of minus x dash square plus sigma square y dash square upon 2 sigma square, in which x dash is x cos theta plus y sin theta and y dash is y cos theta minus x sin theta. In this, the lambda is a cosine factor wavelength and the theta is the normal to the parallel strips of a Gabor filter function orientation in degrees. This is the phase offset in degrees. The sigma is the spatial aspect ratio that specifies the elliptically of the support of the Gabor function, and 1 by lambda is the spatial frequency of the cosine factor. Let's talk about the second part of the texture feature segmentation, which is extraction of features from filtered images. Historically, many feature extraction were proposed for extracting relevant information from the filter outputs. Some of the features extraction method includes by using magnitude response, second the applying spatial smoothing, by using pixel adjacency information, the other one is by using real component, by using a nonlinear sigmoidal function. A nonlinear sigmoidal function was used in our case as suggested by Jan, and for Okima it is useful because the output of filters gets saturated using this. They also suggested that using pixel adjacency info because pixels that has the same texture are closer to each other and hence they should be clustered together. The segmental function is defined by this equation in which tan h alpha t equals to 1 minus e raised to the power minus 2 alpha t upon 1 plus e raised to the power minus 2 alpha t. Each filter output is smoothed carefully using Gaussian smoothing function and represented by this equation in which gx comma y is equals to exponential of minus of x square plus y square upon 2 sigma square. The third and the last part of texture feature segmentation is clustering. Once the filter bank designing and the feature extraction is done, we have collection of featured image that are extracted from the filtered outputs using multi-channel approach. Pixels that belongs to the same texture regions have the similar texture properties and they are closer to each other in the feature space as compared to the pixels that does not belong to the similar texture regions. The last step is to label each of the cluster to generate the segmented image and cluster the pixels to represent the original textural regions. K-mean This is a k-mean clustering algorithm which we used in this project. This k-mean cluster start by assigning the cluster center to random points in the input set and then it follows with the following steps. The first step is to calculation the distance to from each point to the cluster centers, assignment of each point to its nearest cluster center based on the Euclidean distance. You calculate the cluster centers as the mean of each cluster. The fourth step is iteratively assignment of the points to their nearest cluster center, updating the cluster centers until it converges, and the final step is when clustering is done, labeling each pixel with its respective cluster, and finally the segmented image is produced. This k-mean clustering algorithm is defined as first initialize the centroids of k clusters randomly and then assign each sample to the nearest centroid, calculate centroid means of k clusters, and then finally if centroids are unchanged then we are done, otherwise go to step 2. Some experimental results related to this texture feature segmentation is defined as by using this multi-channel image segmentation process was implemented using Gabor filters and k-mean clustering tested for textured image. The experimental result obtained from the images shown below, we concluded that the filtered which was set at 30 degrees separation was performed more better in performance than other angles that were used in the experiment. More spatial frequency was covered and more region separation was detected, and hence more texture information was captured. This is a graphical image of the experimental results in which we have the input image and we got different featured image graphs using this Gabor filter approach. And finally, to summarize this project, in this paper, I analyzed the textual segmentation problem based on the texture. After extracting the textual information from the image, I tuned the filters to different orientation and spatial frequencies. After filter bank was designed, I decomposed the image and extracted the features appropriately from the filtered image. It was also recorded battery performance for filters set to 30° than the 45°. In this experiment, I also followed the smoothing technique to make the segmentation process better and to decompose the variations, and in order to smoothen it, I used a Gaussian smoother. After features extraction is done, I clustered the segmented image and the clustered image, the pixels using k-mean clustering, and we finally got the segmented image. And here are some of the references related to this project. Thank you.